Good evening and a very warm welcome to our virtually live festival. My name is Victoria Barlow and I'm the musical director of South Notts-Spence Chorus. I'll be taking you through this evening and introducing some wonderful musicians and some wonderful music. Well, we're joined, we believe, tonight by friends all over the UK. Lots of people we hope in Wales, and croeso cynnes to our friends in Wales. I believe we also have friends in Brittany who have joined us tonight. Bonsoir à tous nos amis de Canet-Avro en Bretagne et bienvenue. We have 11 choirs performing for you tonight, and we have representatives of those choirs and MDs here with me. And if we can have a little look at them now. If you'd all like to give everybody a wave. Fantastic, look at those fine body of people. But we'll be hearing a little bit more from them a little later on. So, our concert tonight, although it's virtual, we're hoping that it comes at a time as we start to move towards brighter days. We often think at this time of year as a time for new beginnings, and with the wonderful vaccination rollout, hopefully we're all at the point where we're starting to think about making music live again. So it feels appropriate that tonight we talk a little bit about what we've been doing in lockdown and celebrate the fact that as choirs, we've made it through intact so far after a very difficult year for the arts. So bravo to us all for managing that feat. So what better way to celebrate than to share time together and look at making music and the way people have been doing it in all sorts of different ways. So we thought we would get the ball rolling at South Notts-Spence Chorus. I'd just like to tell you a little bit about us. We were formed in 2016 and we've been working hard to perform in some lovely venues. We've enjoyed taking part in festivals and competitions, and we were hoping to take part in Llangollen last year in 2020, but obviously it was cancelled, and we've just heard it's been cancelled again this year. However, during lockdown, we've done lots of things to keep us going. We've enjoyed musicianship sessions, we've looked at theory and music history, we've learnt lots of new pieces, we've learnt an awful lot about computers and technology, and we've done an inordinate amount of quizzes. We decided to try our first virtual piece last summer after one of our dear members passed away. We were asked to perform virtually at the funeral, and we created a piece with Dursley Male Voice Choir. And since then, we've quite enjoyed learning how to perform virtually a bit better. So we've bought lots of new equipment, we've looked at new techniques, and we're almost starting to enjoy the process now. The piece we're going to perform for you tonight is a piece called Be Thou My Vision, arranged by Dan Forrest. We think this is an absolutely beautiful arrangement, and it sort of tells our journey from before lockdown, through lockdown, and hopefully now out of the other side. You'll see at the start there's some footage of us performing at Truro Cathedral, then you'll see some footage of us during lockdown, and then you'll notice hopefully a brighter end and a more optimistic future. We're joined in the performance tonight by the fantastic cellist, Francesca MacDonald.
Be thou my wisdom. Dosbarth dda, diolch am y gwahoddiad. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for the invitation. I'm from Barrymeal Voice Choir, and we've been very busy. Good evening, everybody, and just that you guys have, I'm sure. We're going to watch tonight our second lockdown video, which started when Ben Tarleton, the cellist, phoned me and said, how about doing a lockdown project? And of course we said yes. I chose Sunset Poem because it was in the repertoire at the time, and it was quite short. So it could be consumed by social media quite nicely. And it has got 2 lines at the end which say, and say goodbye, but just for now. So we started doing the tracks, and Steve Bowen and Richard King did some amazing tracks because it's a cappella and the phrasing is very fluid. So they had to be really careful about doing that. Nick Merrick did the mixing, and he was very patient with me, I have to say. The boys will say they're very patient with me all the time. And Ben Tarleton did his own cello obbligato. We got some drone filming done, and we had to check the tides to get that sunset moment. You'll see it in a minute. Just perfect. We had to wait for a weather window to choose the day. But the thing on the day was that the photographer assured me that the boys would be fine miming on the day. And I wasn't too sure, but they did mime, and it all went okay. And you're about to see the results of our efforts last July. We're going to sing Sunset Poem. Diolch yn fawr.
Now the town is dusk. Each cobble, donkey, goose, and gooseberry street is a thoroughfare of dusk. And dusk and ceremonial dust, and night's first darkening snow, and the sleep of birds drift under and through the live dusk of this place of love. Llareggub is the capital of dusk. And at the doorway of Bethesda House, the Reverend Eli Jenkins recites to Llareggub Hill his sunset poem.
Every morning when I wake, dear Lord, a little prayer I make. Oh, please to keep thy loving eye on all poor creatures born to die. And every evening at sundown, I ask a blessing on the town. For whether we last the night or no, I'm sure it's always touch and go. We are holy battle. And the milk
Good evening, everyone, and a happy Easter to you all. My name is Mirek Russ. I'm the musical director of Bestwood Male Voice Choir, Nottingham, formed in 1952. I'd like, first of all, to thank Victoria Barlow for inviting us to take part this evening. It's good to be here in distinguished company. Bestwood MVC have been going strong in the last year, with just under half the choir meeting weekly on Zoom, of course, doing some singing, some music, learning just under half the choir, but also getting to know each other a little bit better. That's been called our This Is Me slot. And it turns out the opportunity to talk about yourself for 10 minutes has proved quite popular in the choir. Our contribution this evening is our first attempt at a virtual choir video recording. And I want to thank all the brave souls who volunteered to do it, braving the barriers of technology, and not forgetting Mark Brown, who put it all together. It's a song we've been learning in recent months. It's also the shortest song on this evening's programme, so can I please ask you not to go and put the kettle on quite at the moment. The song is very well known and needs no introduction from me, except to say it was written and recorded by the Beatles, arranged by Alan Simmons, and it's called And I Love Her. And I hope you enjoy it.
Well, thank you, Dot and Mirek. Haven't we had a great evening so far? Fabulous. Just so lovely to see other choirs. I was going to say looking happy. Most male voice choirs enjoy not looking happy the vast majority of the time, but they do look happy, and I'm happy that they're here. So tonight we are raising money for CALM, the Campaign Against Living Miserably. If you'd like to donate at any point during the evening, you'll see there is a Just Giving link on the screen. It's completely up to you. You don't have to donate if you don't want to, but if you so wish, you can. We've raised over £900 so far towards the charity, and it would be wonderful grateful if we could nudge them over the 1,000 point tonight. If you don't want to donate in that way, you could visit our website at www.snmc.org.uk, and there you'll find a direct link that will take you to Just Giving. Anyway, enough of me. Let's get on with the concert. We're going to go now over to Craig James and Beaufort Male Voice Choir.
Greetings to you all from Beaufort in the South Wales Valley, and it's so good to be able to share with you in this concert tonight. Thank you to the organisers for inviting us. I promise that I won't mention the Triple Crown or the Championship. I'll keep that to myself. It's a real pleasure to be able to be involved in a concert after this past year. And this particular recording was done in our annual concert in 2019. Little did we know then that that would be the last one for some time. But this song is one that's been a part of our choir history for many years. It's also, a really popular hymn tune here in Wales. And the arrangement, Gwahoddiad, which means invitation, was by John Tudor Davis. And because it's so often sung in Welsh here in Wales, and because of this arrangement, it's often confused as being a Welsh hymn tune, when in fact it is an American hymn tune that was set to Welsh. And so I hope that you enjoy this performance of Gwahoddiad. Good night and God bless.
Good evening, my name's Ian Watts and I'm the musical director of Carlton Male Voice Choir, based in Nottingham, of course, in the area of Carlton. And we've been around since 1908, but I hasten to add that I haven't been the musical director for that long. I joined in 2017. So firstly, a big thanks to South Notts Men's Choir for inviting Carlton to perform by virtual means tonight. Much appreciated, guys, and to Victoria Barlow and Russell Jones, particularly for the invite. Carlton got off the out of the traps very, very quickly on lockdown, and we were rehearsing from the very first week. Twice a week, in fact. So we do working Wednesdays on a Wednesday and what we call Fun Friday on the Friday. So we've split the work and the social side up into two separate nights. It's 2 hours per session, so the guys are pretty committed, and we've thrilled to say that the members have stuck with us through that period. We've continued to learn new repertoire and had some fun sessions and workshops, and we've also had quizzes and great stuff like that. In fact, a colleague of mine, Carl Spencer, one of our second tenors, runs the Fun Friday, and he's found a really fun way of doing that, which is really low key, and everybody has a good go and a bit of a sing, or the play of a guitar or ukulele or something like that. The piece that Carlton are going to sing tonight is another one by Dan Forrest. Now, you heard South Notts sing Be Thou My Vision, which is a lovely arrangement of the hymn. And this is a rewritten melody. So Gina is the original melody of And Can It Be, with words by Charles Wesley, of course, from the 1700s. And Dan Forrest wrote this completely new setting of this in 2015, and that's when it was released. And Carlton have really taken on this piece, really enjoyed it. And the performance you'll hear tonight is from the Albert Hall in Nottingham. And it was actually our first live performance of the piece. It was recorded live. It was videoed just on a mobile phone, so I've added in a few photos to liven it up a little bit. But yeah, it was filmed on a mobile phone, but the actual recording was recorded properly and has been released and is available with the other songs from that particular concert on all digital streaming outlets worldwide. So Carlton's managed to get out of Nottingham a little bit and get around the world a bit, which is great for us. The piece is And Can It Be, and it is absolutely beautiful. I think this new melody that Dan Forrest has written more suits this, the thought of the words, which is the comparison of Jesus being in heaven and the wonder of Jesus being in heaven compared to basically hell on earth and going through the crucifixion, and which is great for this time of year. At this wonderful Easter time. And I do wish you, from everybody at Carlton Male Voice Choir, a fabulous Easter. Please enjoy Dan Forrest's setting of And Can It Be?
Hello, South Notts. This is Eastwood calling. It really is great to be part of this wonderful virtually live festival, and we're very proud to be joining the many choirs that are involved in this festival tonight. My name is Ian Baxter, and I am chairman of Eastwood Colliery's Male Voice Choir. We are based in northwest Nottinghamshire, close to the Derbyshire border, where we have now been sharing our passion for music and song for over 101 years. We have around 50 members who are all kept in line by our legendary dynamic duo of musical director Liz Moulder and principal accompanist Gemma Marshall. Since being forced online with our choir activities, we've produced 4 virtual recordings, and our most recent, We Shall Overcome, a collaborative piece with Sonara Singers, will be premiered on YouTube tomorrow at 3 p.m. So please join us for that if you can. Just look on our website for more information. But for your delight tonight, we are sharing our virtual version of the popular male voice choir mainstay of Softly As I Leave You. For this recording, 16 brave souls mastered the technology and overcame all kinds of excuses to record and video themselves individually to produce this piece. Who said that men can't multitask? These individual pieces were then expertly crafted together by our creative whiz kid, Secretary Ian Webster, to produce something of which we are very proud. What makes the recording you will see tonight all the more special is that it is dedicated to our longest serving member, John Beskerby, who sadly passed away last July, having been part of our choir for over 50 years. Thank you so much for allowing us to be part of this very special evening, and we hope you enjoy ECMVC's rendition of Softly As I Leave You.
I will leave you softly stay for one more day. After all the years, I can't bear the tears to fall so softly as I leave you after all the years, I can't bear the tears to fall so softly as I leave you there, as I leave you there. As I leave you
Well, how fabulous. What a great night we're having. The most beautiful first half, which has been concluded there by Eastwood Collieries. Would be lovely to support them tomorrow afternoon in their endeavours if you can. We're going to take a short-ish break now, but we're not going to go anywhere. We'll stay on air. We'll just play you some video from our charity, CALM, the Campaign Against Living Miserably, which is a charity helping those through suicide. So we have noted that we are now over £1,000, which is absolutely fantastic. If you would like to donate, please feel free to do so below. However, we will now play on a loop the video for 5 minutes. So if you are feeling you need a little comfort break or a top up of your glass, do go and get one in one moment and come back for a fantastic second half where you'll be hearing from competition winners and all sorts of things. So please feel free to go and get yourself a little refreshment. Do watch our lovely video from CALM, and we'll see you back here in 5 minutes.
Every week, 125 people in the UK take their own life. That's not okay. The Campaign Against Living Miserably is leading a movement against suicide, so we can be there for anyone who needs us, no matter what. In the last year, our trained helpline staff helped someone every 66 seconds, having over 140,000 conversations and directly preventing 488 suicides. It's safe to say 2020 has been a year like no other. One thing's for sure, we couldn't have got through it without you. So here's the CALM 66-second supporter showcase. Go.
Radio host Roman Kemp here. I'll be hosting my Good News quiz.
And breathe. How was that? Just over? Oh well. Time has lost all meaning in 2020 anyway, so here's to more of the fun stuff, more of the fantastic stuff, more of the weird and wonderful stuff, together against suicide in 2021. Every week, 125 people in the UK take their own life. That's not okay. The campaign against living miserably is leading a movement against suicide, so we can be there for anyone who needs us, no matter what. In the last year, our trained helpline staff helped someone every 66 seconds, having over 140,000 conversations and directly preventing 488 suicides. It's safe to say 2020 has been a year like no other. One thing's for sure, we couldn't have got through it without you. So here's the Calm 66 Second Supporter Showcase. Go.
Radio host Roman Kemp here. I'll be hosting my Good News quiz.
And breathe. How was that? Just over? Oh well. Time has lost all meaning in 2020 anyway, so here's to more of the fun stuff, more of the fantastic stuff, more of the weird and wonderful stuff, together against suicide in 2021. Every week, 125 people in the UK take their own life. That's not okay. The campaign against living miserably is leading a movement against suicide, so we can be there for anyone who needs us, no matter what. In the last year, our trained helpline staff helped someone every 66 seconds, having over 140,000 conversations and directly preventing 488 suicides. It's safe to say 2020 has been a year like no other. One thing's for sure, we couldn't have got through it without you. So here's the Calm 66 Second Supporter Showcase. Go.
Radio host Roman Kemp here. I'll be hosting my Good News quiz.
And breathe. How was that? Just over? Oh well. Time has lost all meaning in 2020 anyway, so here's to more of the fun stuff, more of the fantastic stuff, more of the weird and wonderful stuff, together against suicide in 2021.
I hope you're all feeling refreshed and have your glasses charged for the second half. Fantastic news that we've now made £1,175 for Calm. So thank you so much for your donations. Really will make a huge difference. So the second half is going to start slightly differently. If you are wondering where the female representation is this evening, so the second half is about to arrive. We now are going to hear from 3 choirs, all of whom have ladies. The first choir is Mirabile, an all-female ensemble. I'll say no more, and I'll pass you over now to Rebecca. When I can find her. There she is. Ta-da!
Mirabile Vocal Ensemble was established in 2002 as a group of experienced audition singers hailing from a variety of musical backgrounds, including choral and solo experiences, both locally and nationally renowned. We're based in Nottingham and have performed in many wonderful venues across the UK, and we've taken part in both national and international competitions and festivals, including 2 tours of Italy. We love nothing more than to embrace new and exciting challenges, such as performing with Cossack dancers and with vocal group Blake during their UK tour. We won the Female Choir of the Year category at the 2016 Llangollen International Eisteddfod, and subsequently were invited to perform for BBC Radio Nottingham and to participate in music festivals and concert series. Under the artistic directorship of Anthony Rose, Mirabile has embraced an exciting new repertoire of classical and contemporary music, which premiered in London in January 2018 as part of the Brandenburg Choral Festival concert series, followed by events in the magnificent Great Hall at Woollerton, Nottingham Castle, and successfully supporting local and national charities. 2020 came with its own challenges, and in typical Mirabile fashion, we hit the ground running. Despite only having had 1 real face-to-face rehearsal in the past year, the pandemic has not suppressed our love for making music. We've been able to make our own recordings with electronic equipment we had around the house, and still been able to create some beautiful and heartfelt performances. Loving Kindness by Howard Goodall, CBE, was inspired by seeing so many people going the extra mile to help others during the COVID-19 pandemic, and also by blessings from Tibetan Buddhism and from Hindu texts. His composition describes the outpouring of kindness that he observed in Britain and globally, and the open expressions of empathy and of sympathy witnessed by so many over the last year. This piece is dedicated to the sacrifice and courage of health workers during the COVID-19 pandemic, and is a beautiful tribute and thanks to our wonderful NHS frontline workers during a time when we've been unable to get together physically to sing. So on behalf of the Mirabile Vocal Ensemble, I'd like to thank Victoria and her colleagues for having us tonight. We want to acknowledge all the hard work put in by Anthony Rose and give special thanks to Howard Goodall for his composition. We invite you to please enjoy our performance.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bernie Bracker, and I lead the Ruddington and Lady Bay community choirs, both of which were launched in 2012. They're two separate unauditioned choirs based in a village, Ruddington, and a suburb, Lady Bay. They probably won't like me saying suburb, but they're both on the outskirts of Nottingham. Each choir has its own distinct identity and attitude to music and life in general, actually. But at least twice a year, they come together to perform as one united choir. Usually at this time of year, we would be heading off on a 60-seater bus to take part in a festival of some description somewhere in the UK. Obviously, this didn't happen at all last year, and we've spent the last 12 months singing muted on Zoom, like every other choir, learning a lot of new music and also enjoying a couple of special sessions, such as a Les Mis special and a sea shanty session. This year, we're very happy to have been invited to take place in the Virtual Live Festival with our first, and I have to say it, hopefully last virtual performance. Our contribution tonight is I Only Want to Be With You, originally performed by Dusty Springfield, but arranged in 6 parts by Gitika Partington and recorded by 24 brave singers representing both choirs. We hope you enjoy it.
One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I only want you, be with you. Well, I only want you, be with you. Well, I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. Well, I only know I never want to let you go. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? That ever since we met you had a hold on me. It happens to be true. I only want to be with you, be with you. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. I want to spend each moment of the day with you. Now look what has happened with just one kiss. I never ever let me up like this. It's crazy, but it's true. I only want to be with you. You stopped and smiled. You stopped and smiled. You stopped and smiled. Asked if I cared to die. I fell into your open arms. I didn't stand a chance. Now listen, honey. I just want to be beside you everywhere. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? That ever since we met you had a hold on me. No matter what you do, I only want to be with you, be with you. You stopped and smiled. You stopped and smiled. You stopped and smiled. Asked if I cared to die. Asked if I cared to die. I fell into your open arms. I didn't stand a chance. Now listen, honey. I just want to be beside you everywhere. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? The hands touching that you have a hold on me. No matter what you do, I only want to be with you. I said no matter what you do, I only want to be with you, be with you. I listen to shouts.
Now listen, honey.
I just want to be beside you wherever you were. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? The hands touching that you have a hold on me. No matter what you do, I only want to be with you. I said no matter what you do, I only want to be with you, be with you.
Good evening, folks. I'm Chris Hill. I'm the musical director of Loughborough Male Voice Choir. The choir's been going for around 54 years now, and we've got around 45 or so active singers. And that was before lockdown. Now, during lockdown, most of those people have kept coming along and joining in. Each week we have a whole choir practice, and then alternate weeks we have parts practices. And we've been getting 30, 35 people coming along each week. So we've been really pleased with the way that's kept going. Not only have we kept choir practices going, we've learned new pieces completely from scratch. Not only have we learned new pieces, but we've also created new pieces as well. And one of the pieces, the piece we're going to be singing tonight, is one that we've created especially. We were looking for something special to do for Easter, and we're delighted when South Notts said, how about doing the virtual festival? So that really fitted well with what we wanted to do. And the piece we're going to sing tonight is Men of Harlech, and it's new to the choir. It's been arranged for us by our accompanist, who is also new to the choir. Paul Glover joined us just on the eve of lockdown, hasn't had the opportunity to play for a full live concert yet, but has really helped in terms of doing some arrangements for us and some recordings as well. So thank you for Paul. And as I say, we've learned this completely from scratch, right from the beginning. And I can honestly say, sitting here without my fingers crossed, that every single member of the choir that submitted a recording has been included, although some are a bit louder than others. So Loughborough Male Voice Choir with Men of Harlech.
Bright our freedom stands before ye.
Good evening. Thank you for watching, and thanks to South Notts Men's Chorus for inviting and having us here tonight. I'm Thomas Graff. I'm the musical director of the Wessex Male Choir, a choir based in Swindon and founded in September 2001. We performed and competed on all sorts of stages over the years. The choir won a first prize at Llangollen in 2011 and performed at the Rugby World Cup in 2015. We've gone on numerous foreign tours and more recently won 2 first prizes at the Cracovia Cantans competition in 2019. We're hugely excited to be approaching our 20th anniversary year. We've got a lot of plans for that year and are keeping fingers crossed that the situation continues to improve nationally so we can go ahead with those plans. The last year has been a challenge for us all, as it has been for all amateur musical organisations. One of the more frustrating facets of the last year is the fact that circumstances, whilst obviously restricted, have been so constantly evolving. So for my part, when things first kicked off about a year ago, we began with a virtual rehearsal site with a view that online rehearsal resources would tide us over until we could resume rehearsing. The difficulty is that people join a choir for the joy of singing and performing together, the socialisation, the feeling of working together to make something good. So I felt my online homework club probably had a limited shelf life. We found that working on video project has really been the most successful approach during the past year. It's not for everyone, but we've had a fantastic uptake from the choir, with a vast majority of choristers getting involved in at least one of those projects. The Life on Mars arrangement that we've submitted this evening is an arrangement that I made in September in 2019 that was intended to be part of our concert repertoire during the following year. The video is the fruit of a summer project last year. We were fortunate enough to have the help of a professional video editor for some of our previous projects, as well as some considerable in-house expertise from members of the choir. But when we weren't able to secure the professional expertise this time, I had to go editing together the sound and video submissions from our choristers, and they in turn lent me their considerable patience and trust as I stitched the thing together on a tiny low-spec laptop computer. It's not perfect or quite up to the concert standards we would normally expect to achieve, but I think it's a nice souvenir for us to have coming out of what's been a pretty poor time for musical performance. We have a slowly growing body of musical media out there, but this song choice seemed especially appropriate this evening. As the year has gone on, the dystopian and surreal elements of the song lyrics seem to have taken on a weird prophetic resonance. So I hope you enjoy Life on Mars, and hopefully before long, this will become a time that we're looking back on rather than being stuck with it.
It's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mummy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go. Though her friend is nowhere to be seen, now she walks through a sunken dream to the seats with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a saddening bore, for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools as they rested to focus on sailors hiding in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's a freaky show. Take a look at the low man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know. He's in the best-selling show. It's their life on Mars. It's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has thrown up her cow. Now the workers have struck for fame, 'cause Lennon's on sale again. See the mice in their million halls, from Ibiza to the Norfolk Broads. Rule Britannia is out of bounds. To my mother, my dog and clowns. But the film is a saddening bore, 'cause I wrote it 10 times or more. It's about to be written again. As I ask you to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's a freaky show. Take a look at the law man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if he'll ever know. He's in the best of the show. It's a life on Mars. Is there life on Mars?
Hello there, I'm Russell Jones, Chairman of South Notts Men's Chorus. I hope everyone's enjoyed the 10 pieces that we've heard tonight from the choirs. We've really been treated to some lovely sights and sounds this evening. Now, everyone's found the last year a challenge. We've all missed the things we used to take for granted, and we've certainly all missed singing together and the camaraderie of being in a choir. Although it's been challenging, I think we've learnt several things over the last 12 months. We've learned how to successfully rehearse online. Although one of the choirs tonight, one of their secretaries told me that half his choir didn't even have running water, let alone internet connection. I think he was joking. We've also learned how to record, mix, produce wonderful videos, such as those we've seen tonight. We've also learned how important it is being part of the choir. Mix. So those who did manage to record pieces individually during lockdown, well done. I certainly know how difficult it is to record yourself at home. We all sound very different when we're not surrounded by fellow choristers. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the musical directors who have kept us going through the last year. Victoria Barlow at South Notts Men's Chorus, Dot Connell at Barry, Mirek Russ at Bestwood, Craig James at Beaufort Male Voice Choir, Ian Watts at Carlton, Liz Moulder at Eastwood, Anthony Rose, Mirabile, Bernie Bracker at Ruddington and Lady Bay Community Choirs, Chris Hill at Loughborough, and then lastly, we just heard from Tom Graff at Wessex. I'd also like to thank all the members of these choirs too, both the brave ones who've taken part in these virtual pieces, and also the other members who supported their colleagues during that process. I'm sure that everyone will agree with me that tonight has been a great success. I'd like to thank two people in particular. Firstly, on the technical side, I'd like to thank Tony Sauter. You haven't seen him, you haven't heard him, but he's been very busy in the background, calmly controlling tonight's proceedings. It's taken many hours of planning, learning new software, and being patient with the rest of us to get this far. So thank you very much, Tony. Secondly, I'd like to thank Victoria Barlow. This Virtually Live Festival was Victoria's idea, and she's worked tirelessly since its inception to make tonight's event as good as it has been. Thank you, Victoria. Now, if this was a real concert, this is where I'd hand over a bouquet of flowers. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you in the audience for attending and also for donating this evening. We've had over 180 people watching live, and so far we've received just over £1,500, which is amazing. Carl would be very pleased with your support. Now, if this was a normal concert, this is where I'd wish you all a very safe journey home. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, Russell. So before you all disappear, we do have one final thing to do, and that's an encore. What would a concert be without an encore? And this is an absolute belter. I think you're really going to enjoy this. Our final piece is going to be sung by South Notts Men's Chorus. We will be joined by the wonderful Zena O'May in performing La Vergine degli Angeli from La Forza del Destino by Giuseppe Verdi. I'll just tell you a little bit about Zena. Zena's been singing for over 30 years. She's sung with ENO, Covent Garden Festival Opera and the D'Oyly Carte Opera Company, amongst others. She's also a big Elvis fan. Of course, you'd put the two together, wouldn't you? Anyway, our final piece this evening and our finale is La Vergine degli Angeli. Thank you so much for coming.
Protect